Hey everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches. Thank you for joining me today. It is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021, and this is FlossTube number 15. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. This channel is mainly about cross stitching. I might throw in some quilting here and there, but for the most part it is cross stitch. I have been thinking about doing a quilting video, so I don't know, stay tuned, you might see that. Anyway, if you're returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you being here. And so let's get in. I've been stitching a lot. I am doing Americana April this year, so this April I am stitching 4th of July things. I'm still trying to figure out my plans for Mania. Don't know quite what I'm going to do there. But anyway, so let's look at my Americana stuff that I've gotten done. Not everything I stitch is Americana, but that's kind of my focus. So this is 1776 by Samplers and Santas. And I finished it. I changed the colors just right here to gold because the white was not showing up. This is 18 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed, and the floss is all stuff from thrift stores, from my thrift store stash. If you're new here, my smalls are stitched mainly with thrift store floss. So it can be floss that's Coats and Clark. I have some Bucilla, I have Paraluster, so it's just a variety of vintage floss that I've picked up at thrift stores and that I inherited. So this is 1776. So I'm hoping in May my focus will be to finish these items. And there you go. I love it. I love the way it came out. I'm glad I put the numbers in gold. So there it is. I finished. Yay! I actually sat down yesterday and I watched Log Cabin Stitcher and Proverbs 31:22. And I sat down and I just finished it and stitched it. So, and you'll notice, if you were here last week, you'll remember that I bought some patterns from Calico Confectionery. So last night, my husband and I, we've been watching this documentary on Acorn. It's from BBC. So I stitched this. It's kind of odd because I'm stitching all this Americana stuff and we're watching the history of England. But anyway, so I started this. I love this pattern. I love her chart. She has good, clear markings. There is one or two that I get kind of confused, but all I got to do is look at the picture and I can figure it out. So I have a start. I start in the lower left. And so that is what that is right there. And again, this is 18 count coffee tea dyed. And originally I said I was going to use DMC because I purchased this chart, but I loved the colors of 1776 and the way that they looked on this fabric. This is the same piece of fabric that I decided to just go with it. She said to have extra blue and red, so I was able to find an extra floss of each one. So I think I should have enough to finish it. If not, I'll wing it, figure something out, you know. But so that's exciting. And then sorry, I got a message popped up. It distracted me. I worked on the Giant Noel. This is a freebie by Susan Ake on the Aurifil website. I am doing this, this is my mom's birthday start. She collected 12 Days of Christmas things and I inherited them. And so this is in tribute to her. So I'm going to stitch it from her birthday, which is March 19th, to my birthday, which is May 30th. So this is all I have done. You know, my page a week. I've not done that. I haven't even finished a page. The best laid plans. Anyway, but this is what I have done. And I am using DMC, not Aurifloss. Her charts are beautiful. Hard to follow. She's got about 3 different reds, and the chart does not have symbols, it has colors, and all the reds look the same after I print it out. In fact, all the reds look the same on my iPad. So it's really hard to tell what red she's using where. She has a couple of different greens, a couple of different golds, a couple of different grays, and they're all colored green, gold, gray. And it's so hard to tell the difference. So I am sticking with one green. I think I have 2 different grays right now, 1 red. I might change, but right now I am using what is referred to as the Devil's Red in DMC 666 because in one of my estate sale hauls, I bought one of those DMC cabinets, you know, and it was stuffed full of floss, and the lady had about 10 of the 666 colors. So so that's what I'm using. I'm using them up. So I'm using the Devil's Red and a Christmas piece. Anyway, so there it is. I love it. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful stitch. It really is. But the chart, if you're listening, we might need to use some symbols. Anyway. And tomorrow is the last day of the Riolas Stitch Along. And I am actually shocked that I have stuck with it this long. So I am stitching Feline Family. And I'm using the wool acrylic that came in the kit. I'm using the fabric that came in the kit. And I do have to say, I'm going to say this before I show it to you. If I stitch another Riolas, I will most likely get another piece of fabric. It is like mine particular. I know I measured it right. I know I used it right. I hope. But it is tight. The fabric is tight. And next week I'm going to take it out of the Q-snaps and show it to you after I stitch it today. Because tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's the day that we have, last day to show our progress. And so I will, I'll take it out of the Q-snaps and take a final picture Wednesday. And then that'll be on my Instagram. And then I'll show it again next. Rebellious, it's like my children. I'll show that next week. So I didn't get much progress done. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't. I did, but it was filling in all the little 3 and 4 stitch areas that needed to be filled in, and that always takes me a little bit longer than I would desire. I don't park because it confuses me. I'm not good at saying, oh, that's this color, or that's this, and gridding was new to me. I don't normally grid because I don't normally stitch pieces where I feel like I need a grid, but this one, about 1 or 2 days into it, I was like, oh, I might want to grid this puppy. So there it is, Feline Family. So pretty. So anyway, so that's my stitching. No fully finishes, nothing. 8 minutes into it, and I'm done showing you what I've done. But I do have a haul, and I have a fabric dyeing experiment that I did. So I purchased this fabric paint. It's by Tulip, and it's brush on fabric paint in light blue. This was the only color my Walmart had, except for like black, and I didn't want black. So what I did was I filled up a bowl, and I wet my fabric. I used I believe this is 18 count Ada, and I wet my fabric, and then I poured most of the water out. I left maybe a 1/4 cup in there, if that much, and I basically squirted paint on my fabric, put it back in the bowl with the water. Well, it was in the bowl with the water when I squirted it, and I basically just squished it. Didn't even wear gloves. It's paint. Squished it up really, really, really good. Checked it, added a little bit more paint, squished it up really good with the water, did it really, really good, did not rinse it, and then I hung it up to dry. And according to the instructions, you need to let it cure for 3 days, which would have been Saturday when I did it, and I did not get a chance to do it Saturday because my husband and I did some work around the house, which I'll show you some things, and then so I got to it yesterday, Monday. And this is it. I rinsed it. I washed real good, and that light's not letting me. This one. There you go. There you go. I think it came out cute. It's getting dark outside. We're getting thunderstorms, so you'll have to bear with me. But this is it. I think it came out. There you go. You can kind of see a little bit better there. It came out nicely modeled. Not a color I would normally get. I know Stitching by the Store sure says she loves blues. So this was a good experiment. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it turned out really pretty. You know, I think the color, oh, that's a stain. Well, there we go. Ignore that. You know, it's a little more teal in person. It's coming up very baby blue right here, but it's a little bit more teal in person. But I love it. I think it was a good experiment. So after I washed it and ironed it, I went on Amazon and ordered more paints. So we'll see, fabric paints. Now I think what I might do is I might have a go at using just regular acrylic that I add fabric medium to, and see how that works. I have the Dynaflows, which Michelle at Mama Loves You GB had. She did a tutorial with those, and I have those, and I've attempted to dye some with those, but I rinsed them and they didn't come out real good. I should not have rinsed them. So I will show you those later, because I have some plans for Mania that I'm going to show, and I'll end up showing those fabrics with it. But the kit that I bought on Amazon with this has some browns and blacks and a little more neutral colors, gray. I think it even had like a shimmery gold, which I might try and see how that works. And I think a shimmery silver. So it was fun. I have red dye, but I'm kind of afraid to use it because of the chemically nature of it. My husband's the chemist, not me. And I don't have room to store extra pans and dishes and whatnot to mix all this stuff with. So I just used some cheap Dollar Tree, you know, bowls for this, and rinsed it out. And I can stack those and just stick them in my sewing room, and it's fine. But as for the other stuff that I feel like I need to get to dye using RIT, I just don't have. And you'll have to excuse me, but I am tired. And like I said, it's dark out there because we're getting storms. So anyhow, so that was thunder. One of the things that my husband and I did this weekend was to go through boxes of my mom's things. My mom had a lot of stuff. She collected a lot of things, and she also could not get rid of her mother's things, which I understand because I feel the same way. And so a lot of her stuff, you know, toward the end of her life, you know, the last 7 years when she found out she had cancer, she didn't get out much. And so she ordered a lot of books and things and whatnot on Amazon. And basically when she was done with them, she just put them in her back room, which was her art room, studio and whatnot. So when she passed away, I had the privilege of cleaning everything out. So all of it's in storage, and it'll be 3 years that she passed away in May. And so my husband and I are like, we've got to go through this stuff. And a lot of it is quilt fabric, which I'm having a hard time getting rid of. I need to just make some box lots and sell them on eBay and just get rid of them, because, you know, I'm not going to make that many quilts. Anyway, in one of the boxes of books, I found this. This is Beading for Needlework Basics and Beyond. It is by Mill Hill, and it has got the cutest sampler with some specialty stitches. Now, I have been watching a couple of stitchers, the main one being Stitchin' Mommy, and she has been doing specialty stitches. And also City Stitcher, she does some specialty stitches every now and then. I think she does, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so I want to learn some specialty stitches. So I actually downloaded the Patterns by Erica Michaels, the ABC book. I have those, and I have this now, and I have the one that I showed y'all in one of my hauls. The anyway, Sassy Jack Stitcher is doing the videos on it. I can't think of the name right now. So I have these. So I want to learn some specialty stitches. So this might be my focus in 2022. We're going to see. Usually my year starts in September because my husband's a teacher and I homeschooled, and so our life would kind of reset at the beginning of school. So I might actually start these in September. I don't know. But this year my focus has been a lot of smalls because I've been away from stitching for so long. I wanted to complete things, and so that's why I've been stitching a lot of smalls, because I feel like, oh, I finished this. Oh, that's finished. You know, you kind of get that, and it's kind of a confidence booster, you know. And so getting back into stitching, I did a lot of smalls, and I think it's, I can't think of her name, but anyway, she's doing Dobos things. So that's kind of what my thing is. So I think I'm going to start learning specialty stitches. So and I'm really kind of getting into band samplers. I think they're very pretty. I like the shape of them versus, you know, a big sampler. I like samplers, but these are pretty. And so I don't know, I might give this a shot. But I was excited. I saw this, and you know, my husband, we had boxes to donate to the library for their book sale, boxes of books that I'm going to sell on eBay. And then her art books, her mainly her quilting and cross stitch and crochet books. And so I had those, you know, separate, and I took this one and I set it aside. He goes, "What box sets does that go in?" I said, "The house," because I want to look at it a little bit better. So I'm excited. I was excited to find this. And then another thing that I found was this magazine, Cross Stitch and Needlework. It is from August of 1997, and it is a Thistle Sampler. Isn't it pretty? And like I said, I think it's the shape. I like the shape, the, you know, vertical shape of these samplers. They look less intimidating than the wide ones. You know what I mean? And I know it's dumb, but that's just how I feel. So anyway, so I think this is going to go on in plans, maybe. I really like it, so I'm keeping this magazine. So then I was watching, I don't know if y'all watch Romantic Tangle, Michelle at Romantic Tangle. She's the one that got me hooked on Realist Kits. And she got me hooked on Realist Kits when I watched her video a couple of years ago on the Hobby Lobby cross stitch kits clearance. And this was when I was starting back up, and so I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought some kits, not realizing that, you know, I had all these books from my mom. And so she mentioned that they were on clearance. So I said, oh, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and see if I can get some on clearance. Well, they weren't on clearance here, and I should have known, because usually when they are in clearance in her area, it takes about a week or two before mine are in clearance. So I went there, and they didn't have anything on clearance, and I left. I didn't buy anything. I know. And then I went next door, seriously, next door. There's Hobby Lobby. There's a little alleyway, Michael's. And then across the street is Joann's. So I went next door to Michael's. And I did pick me up some Ada, because it was after my dyeing experiment. It looks like it might have been a success. So I bought all they had of 16 count and all they had of 22 count, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubes. These are what I'm using for, the 16 count is what I am using for the Sunday stitches when I get to it. And it's the perfect size for those. And so I got those, and, you know, I used my little app, 20% off your entire purchase. So I felt okay getting these. So this was exciting. I kind of go between 16, 18, and 22 count, or if I can find 20, which is rare, of Ada. You know, if I find some 18 is what I'll look at. You know, if I'm going to sit there and figure out how big is it going to be, I go with 18 count Ada. But if it's going to be too small, I'll go with 16 count. But if it's going to be too big, I'll go with 20, 22 count. So these are my favorites. So these are going to be what I attempt to, I left out the 18 because I have that yard that I bought off of Amazon. So these are what I'm going to use when I get those paints in. So I'm excited about that. And then I went to Joann's, and I found, okay, I know I just said that I inherited a ton of quilt fabric from my mom, but it's all from the 80s, And my mom loved art quilts. So hers are very abstract, geometric, art quilty type of stuff. And then she had a lot of stuff that she had bought for me, which was 1930s and Civil War reproduction fabrics. So the Civil War reproduction fabrics I'm going to keep. And then a lot of it was from the late 80s, early 90s. That's all that calico, which I'm fine with because that can blend well with other things. But for the most part, I'm not a calico-y. I mean, I like them, don't get me wrong. I mean, calico screams quilts. But I don't have any like, and a ton of Christmas fabric. Oh my goodness, a ton of Christmas fabric. I will be making Christmas quilts for days, years. Anyway, I didn't have any like springtime fabric. I was like, are you serious? So far, everything that I'm going to, like, where's my Easter bunnies? Didn't have any. So I found this fabric. They're a little, no, I'm lying to y'all. Y'all, skip what I just said. Before I went to Joann's, I went to Tuesday Morning. I got these at Tuesday Morning. If you don't have a Tuesday Morning, if you have a Tuesday Morning and you've never been, I'm going to suggest you go, especially if you like to do finishing with quilt fabric. This right here is a small fat quarter bundle. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fat quarters in it, right here, and it was $6.99. Now, I find that this is probably not like, it's good, but it's not like quality, quilt shop quality. I think it's fine. I mean, I have no problem with quilting with fabric from Joann's and whatnot, but it's a good deal. And then I bought this one, which had some bees on it. Bees, and then some flowers, and then honeycombs, and then, y'all look at this. Isn't this precious? For those of you that are doing bees, I might have to do something with bees on them just for this. I don't know. And then this beautiful floral. But anyway, Tuesday Morning. And then I was rounding the corner at Tuesday Morning, and in their little clearance section, and I've gotten one needlepoint kit at Tuesday Morning, but I found this Dimensions kit. Isn't it cute? I'm gonna do it. Like, so we lived on a farm in Tennessee. I've mentioned that before, and we had about 20 barn cats, kid you not. And so I want to do this because this just reminds me of our farm in Tennessee. This kit was $9.99 at Tuesday Morning, and it was on clearance, so I got it for $7. So this is fun. It's cute. I figured if anything, you know, if somebody I know wants to learn how to cross stitch, or usually I start kits when I'm like, I need something different. I don't have any patterns I want. I don't feel like kitting anything up. I grab one of these. So this was fun because this is the price that usually Hobby Lobby has their Dimensions and Realist kits for. It's about $8. So anyway, it was cute. Then I went to Joann's. So I went to Joann's because I was looking for a ruler, which I'm going to show you why in a little bit. But I went to Joann's looking for a ruler, and they didn't have it. And so I rounded the corner, and they had quilt patterns, and I was kind of glancing, and usually their quilt patterns are kind of old. They're not very exciting. And I was looking at the patterns, and I looked down, and I saw an It's So Emma pattern, and I thought, well, that's interesting because It's So Emma's from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is a fairly new pattern. And so I started flipping through because, you know, they have their patterns, but it's not like, you know, oh, here's a stack of this. Or here. No, they just stick them wherever, and so you have to flip through them to find what you want. So Lori Holt has the Prim Stitch series, which I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with. I'm not real into it. I like Lori Holt's things, which you're going to call me a liar in about 3 minutes, but bear with me. I didn't like the little Prim squares. I didn't care for those. There was one that I liked, and it's because Stitch and Mommy was doing it, and it was the Faith and Endurance. Y'all, they had it. So I used a coupon on it. So anyway, so here it is, Faith and Endurance. I got it because my faith does help me. My faith is what keeps me enduring a lot of the things that we've gone through in our marriage and in our life. Not that I have a terrible marriage, but if you know my story, you know what we went through. But I love this one. And so I'm going to do this one, and this is just going to stay out year round. Because it is a symbol. It is a symbol of God's faithfulness. You know, the flowers blooming. They don't have to worry. The birds don't have to worry. We don't have to worry. So anyway, I was thrilled. I was like, oh, it was the only cross stitch pattern, and it was with the quilt patterns. I went to the cross stitch section, nothing there. This was with the quilt stuff. So when the girl scanned it, she goes, I don't know if you can use a coupon on this. She goes, but I'm going to try. And it worked. So I think I paid $4 for it. I was thrilled. So then I got a fat quarter shop order in. And here's where you're going to call me a liar. You're going to say, Rachel, you're not honest with this. But I'm doing it, y'all. Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. I would love to do the quilt, but I hate applique and this just makes me want to try her method. But I'd have to buy all her rulers, and unfortunately my Joann's didn't have them because I think I would have bought them. But I don't know. I love this style of quilt. I always wanted to do a Baltimore album-esque quilt. But like I said, I hate applique. So I never did one. So I thought this is the next best thing, is to do this. So it is a sew-along. It is starting in June. So I have time, and I will be using DMC for this. I will pull all the DMC. I have it all listed, and I will. I do not like white backgrounds, so I don't know what I'm going to do. She uses Barley Lugana. I don't like. I mean, I'd rather Ada. It's easier on my eyes. You know, I'm old. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna dye this. I don't know. I might just do I watched Vintage Stitcher, and she did quick dips in her dye, and they came out really, really good. I like the look of coffee tea dye, but you know, I don't know. I don't think I want it that dark. So I don't know. I might do a quick dip with just some tan Rit, or I'm going to try these new paints that I got and see how that works out and see what happens. But I bought it. And then since I was there, I decided I needed to do this one. And again, y'all are going to call me a liar, but there it is. Stitchy Stars. It's So Emma. I figured I'll do this in April. You know. But I'm going to use probably my thrift store floss for this. And I do need to dye a piece because I do not have a piece of Ada that dark. And I think it really needs to be that dark for those colors. So, Stitchy Stars. I wish they would come out with more. Like I said, you know, I'd probably hang it up this way. I like the long, narrow things. Which is probably why my son Aaron is my favorite. He's 6'4", weighs about 150 pounds. So anyway. And then, because of Log Cabin Stitcher and her bad influence on me, I bought some foundation piecing blocks. So I have a ton of fabric from the Thistle Sampler kits that I get, and I am going to use those for these and get some quilts made because I do need to quilt. I have the stuff. I need to get it done. So anyway. And then my husband and I went to one of my favorite thrift stores because I wanted to look for some frames. I said, hey, you mind if we just pull in and look real quick? He's like, sure, let's do that. And we were bringing my mom's books. We were going to bring them to we were going to donate them to the library, but the library donation drop box was locked. So he says, let's bring them to that thrift store. I said, ooh, do you mind if we get down? He's like, no, you can get down. So we pull up, and they're having a yard sale, which is what they usually do every couple of Thursdays and Fridays. And just, they put stuff out and everything's 25 cents. So we found a bunch of frames. And I think about 5, 6 frames. My husband picked them out, and it's kind of good because he and I kind of like the same style. So he picked out these frames, and he went inside to pay for them. And there was one other thing I sent with him. And so he went inside to pay for him, and you know, he was kind of taking a long time, and I thought, I'm going to go in there and see what he's doing. He was paying. He was being good. He wasn't looking at anything. But one of the things that he was paying for was this. Now, I don't know if this is a good kind or not. I haven't looked it up, but it is Punch Embroidery fabric. They were in this bag for 25 cents. I kid you not. They're all right here. I've never done punch needle, but it's one of the things I want to try, so I thought it's a good start. Let me go with my fabric. And so since he was taking so long to pay, I went inside and I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to run by the crafty stuff real quick. He's like, well, I just got through paying. Just give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, that's all I need, I swear. 2 minutes. So I found some bags. And the bags, I asked the girl, I said, how much are these bags of assorted items? And she said, 50 cents each. Really? So this is bag number 1. And bag number 1 has this kit. Now, I am going to assume that the floss that was in the bag was for this one because it looks like it. The pattern, the fabric is a little grungy, is in here, but everything was in here. And then there was this cute little, oh, that's coming up good, needlepoint thing, but there's no fabric in it. And then there was this dimensions, hold on, kit. And it had the fabric in it, and it says, God watches over every nest. I thought that was just absolutely precious. Here's the fabric for it, the floss for it, and the fabric. So, yeah. I'm assuming that's the fabric for it. I don't know. But everything's in here. It looks like somebody opened it, took the floss out, put it back in, closed it, and didn't do anything with it. So let me see. Oh, and then this was in here, but that was it. No fabric, nothing, which kind of made me sad. And this is just the fabric, no beads, nothing. And the pattern, but nothing else. I mainly got it for this little guy right here. This. Bag number 2, and I'm not going to take all these out, was Aunt Martha's iron-on embroidery pieces. There were also some older brands right here. Vogue Art by Vogue. These I fell in love with. I mean, y'all, look at those designs. Now, I inherited from my aunt, not from my aunt, from my mom's second cousin, a quilt, which is right here, and a bunch of embroideries that my great-grandmother and her sister, which is my mom's second cousin's grandmother, we're all related. They made those together. And so she gave them to me because nobody in her family wanted them and she knew I would appreciate them. But this looks like these could have been maybe their patterns? I don't know. But anyway, I was excited about this. So this is 50 cents and it's a big bag. So there's something I want to try. And 2 things actually. And I think it's Not Forgotten Form on her blog. She mentioned free form cross stitch, where basically you take a pattern like this or like a punch needle pattern and you just do crosses inside it, random. I mean, you know, you want to kind of keep them straight and all the same size. So I don't know. I'm going to try this. I'm going to attempt. I have some newer Aunt Martha iron-ons and I think I'm going to attempt and see if I can do something fun with those. I don't know. Third bag. I'm done, y'all. This is the last thing. Was this 1930s, I believe it's reproduction, I'm not going to say it's real, Sunbonnet Sue. One Sue is cut out, a yellow one, and that's it. But I mainly got it for the fabric. What are you going to do? I like fabric. I know. So that's what I got. That's what I've been stitching. That is my haul. There's absolutely no updates on my family. Oh, no, there is. My middle son is moving out. I'm so excited. It's temporary. It's going to be for the next couple of months, but it may end up being permanent. The school that he interns with is providing lodging for him, so that's fun. And so he's hoping that he can stay there longer. You know, they're apartments that are adjacent to our church, so that's why it works out good. So he is moving out. So I'm going to be able to take stuff from storage and bring it here so that I can go to it at my leisure and just finally get this stuff unpacked and sold and donated and sorted through and documented, because my kids have no idea what half this stuff is. They're like, where did you get that? I'm like, that was my grandmother's, your great grandmother's, you know. And so I need to take pictures and document whose they were and where they're from and all that good stuff, just so my kids know, you know, the history behind it, because I have to ask my aunts a lot of things, you know. Was this grandma's? No, that was actually great grandmother's. So anyway, but that's all I have. Hopefully I can get some stitching done on Reolist today and tomorrow so that I can post the final picture on my Instagram page. Hopefully I can, I don't think I'm going to add anything to my stitching rotation once I upload the last picture of that. I'm going to put that aside for a couple of weeks and just kind of work on the 12 Days of Christmas, the Giant Noel. It's called Giant Noel, just so I can work on the Giant Noel. And hopefully get that done and get that mostly finished. I do want to have it done for Christmas, but at the end of May, after my birthday, I may put it aside for a little while because I do want to work on the Sunday Stitches projects. For May, I am looking at doing, I'm calling it Melissa May. Pink Room Pumpkin. She's got a couple of houses that I want to get done. I want to hurry up and finish those and get those ready for the next holiday season. She's got a couple of fall ones that I want to do. And so I think that's what May is going to be, is me focusing on getting those little houses done while I'm working on Joyeux Noel. So that is what I'm doing. And that's my plans. And it is 36 minutes. Definitely not my longest video, but a lot longer than I thought it would be. So anyway, you'll have a good day. And I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.